G'day viewers, welcome back. Welcome back to AZ.
How you going? Thanks for letting me on the screen and stuff. You're good, like you.
Slightly more debilitated than other times by things, but he's right out there. And we've been talking about what to talk about, and we've been noticing, both in the US and here in Australia, the Conservative parties are worried about someone on the inside destroying them. We wanted to do a compare and contrast. In the US, the Republican establishment has been quite clear. They think Donald Trump is destroying the Republican Party. They're not happy with him.
It's hilarious.
Which is actually Donald Trump's stated intent anyway. And it's like why a lot of his supporters are going, yeah, smash the establishment,
man.
And in Australia, the deposed Tony Abbott, who we were so sad when he got deposed because it gave us less to laugh at every week.
Right, and it was like every week, they'd be getting a gift every week.
But he's getting back into it. His biggest problem all along was complete detachment from reality.
Just totally delusional. Amazing.
He still thinks, despite the fact him getting offed by his own party was all but unprecedented in the Liberal Party.
There's only one time that they wiped out a first-term Prime Minister and him. Yeah.
It's so close to being a first, and he doesn't get, because of how much he fucked up. He still doesn't get the problem was what a fuck up he was.
And he was a fuck up on every measurable way. Things got twice as worse or 3 times worse. And every measurable thing, it went badly down.
And he acted like a colossal dick while doing it. You can kind of do one or the other, but you can't do both.
Yeah.
You can't fuck up the economy, you can't fuck up policy and be a complete psychopathic dick about it.
If you're gonna be a dick, then you've got to just go gangbusters with the way everything's gone.
Yeah.
You've just got to be genius with, the way that you've run the economy and policy, but he did exactly the opposite of that.
Yeah, and if you fuck everything up, you've got to make your party think they can get behind you because they don't want to admit that they're part of the fuck up. So if you're not a complete dick, they'll support you and they'll lie and say everything's okay.
They will
but
do that.
It was the combination.
Do that. We can tell you several bloody examples of that in state politics, not even federal.
Yeah, but he still thinks he's coming back in. He still thinks people are going to recognise my genius and I'll be thrust back into power. He doesn't get that there's only a lunatic fringe of his party, like 20%, maybe 30%, who still support him. And he doesn't get that 70% is a bigger number than 30%.
And it is a bigger number. I'm not good at maths or reading, and I got blocks, and I put them together in percents, and you can do this at home. And the 70% is actually much bigger than the 30%. Yeah. The 70% will jump all over the 30% and have the anal with it if it wants to.
So we thought it'd be fun to compare and contrast, because while on the surface, there's the similarity of their own party saying, this guy's destroying us, the Donald Trump, there is no getting away from the fact he's destroying the traditional Republican model by winning.
And he is winning. Big time winning. Which is surprising.
Yeah. He's done a million times better than I thought he would. I still hold out hope, thinking when you look at it rationally, he can't possibly win a general election. His strongest support is pissed off white guys. And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
And, he's got a smaller group of pissed off white women, a smaller than that group of pissed off black guys supporting him, a much smaller group of pissed off black women who'll support him, and a microscopic number of pissed off Latinos who will still support him.
Which surprises me.
Yeah, but they're very small. They're there, but they're very small. That's probably his least support. Whereas against him, you'll have a lot of Latinos who are pissed off at what he said about them, a lot of women of all races who are pissed off about what he said about him, and a lot of men who aren't quite as sort of inspired by some big bushy-headed thug bully.
Yeah.
So I feel like he can't possibly win a general election, and I think that's what the Republican establishment think, and they think he's going to wreck their brand for ages, but it's actually what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He stated, and most of his supporters, and I will actually credit you for this, wanting to smash the establishment. I think both the establishment Republican and Democrat parties fucked. And that's why I'm not inspired by Hillary Clinton, because I think she's just a party hack.
Well, yeah, I mean, where's she got to go? I mean, she's like a woman, which is difficult. Even today, it's difficult to get a woman in the job. And she's going to make all kinds of fucking guarantees to all kinds of fucking masters and corporate masters and party masters that she's not going to fuck up once a month. Oh, God, they bleed. Did you hear that? Oh, it's terrible. Right, she's going to make all these guarantees. And so basically, it's going to be a very cruisy fucking 4 to 8 years.
Yeah, and that's why I still like Bernie Sanders, because I feel he's enough outside of that power structure that he might be able to do something interesting. It's not impossible that he'll get the nomination. It's really unlikely. It's not impossible. I don't agree with people who say it's impossible. I don't agree with people who say he's electable. I think because he steals some of the angry white guys from Trump, for a start.
True story.
I think Trump loses against either Clinton or Sanders. But, you know, I find Sanders interesting. I find Clinton boring. And Trump is just some fascinating fucking circus sideshow. And
America might actually benefit from a bit of boring. They might.
Yeah.
They've really got to fucking think about where they're letting their corporates run. That's a thing. That's a thing, because the corporates are all really setting up to really, when the TPP comes in, they're really going to do some kind of nasty things. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
But the weirdness is that's become a political hot potato now. And the Americans it's fucked for Australia. It's fucked for the rest of the world. It's in favour of American corporations. But that's become a thing. Mr. Unprofessional didn't switch his phone off. I left mine in the house. Some people maintain some professional fucking standards here, is what I'm saying. Okay, so
don't grab my ankles.
So, okay, Trump is smashing the Republican Party and making the establishment upset by winning.
Yeah.
Meanwhile here, Abbott is fucking things up because he can't accept that he's a loser.
And he really is.
Like we're saying, there's maybe 20-30% who are staunchly for him. There's probably only 20-30% who are staunchly against him. And there's that middle 50% who are going to be swung by results, by opinion polls, by what you convince them of, that they're not moving closer to Abbott.
No.
He did this thing. There was a defence white paper leaked to the media, which he swears blind isn't him. Never going to be able to prove who leaked it. But the strategy is obvious. It was leaked so that he could comment on it and say, oh, Turnbull's shit. What's he saying here?
Yeah.
Why is he delaying these submarines?
Oh, delaying submarines is the worst thing in the world.
Except Turnbull was able to point out, well, the head of defence and the Secretary of the Defence Department both point out that Abbott's talking shit. These subs were always going to be delayed compared to what he thought they were going to be. So Abbott's made himself look more stupid. He's in an election year. He's tearing the party apart. So this middle group of people are not moving closer to him.
No, they are not.
They are moving away like the fuck. And
it's almost like he's acting under a delusion.
It's like reality, Tony. Like if you're doing a Venn diagram, it's two circles that don't touch.
Yeah.
Okay? And he is getting to the stage, if he keeps doing this, and there's every indication he will,
yes,
he's in danger of being disendorsed for his seat. He won't retire gracefully.
Nope.
But his own party might say, you've broken too many rules, we're not even going to let you stand as a Liberal Party
member. You're just out, buddy, you're out. And he will shit himself, basically, because he's effectively, he's in this bunker mentality of all these echo chamber mates saying, oh, you're the man, Tones, you've got 2 tonks, mate, you're the man. And he really believes that he's coming back like the Holy Second Coming Crusader. And there's a bit of that in there.
It really is, yeah.
And he will basically be told, you disendorsed, piss off, go away. And he'll shit himself. He will, on the way out, burn down the house.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even get the political games thing. Like, as a complete sideshow, his chief of staff, Peter Credlin, everyone was pretty clear of the fact that the appearance was those two were shagging, okay?
Yeah.
And a book's come out that basically says, yeah, they totes were. And Abbott, his response was, when people said, so what do you think about the book that says you were banging your chief of staff? And he goes, I'm not going to rake over those old coals. He can't even bring himself to say, that didn't happen. It's disgraceful that you're bringing it up. See, even if you did it, that's what you say.
You just deny.
You say, no, that's disgraceful. Unless you've got pictures, unless you've got videos, or unless someone fesses up, you deny.
You know, even after all the hurly-burly, he can get with her and say, I changed me fucking mind. But, you know, in the moment, while your party's trying to go to an election, and I don't want them to win, because on every measurable scale, we are twice or 3 times worse than when they started. They said, oh, the other guys are bad, they're bad, and then they proceeded to drive the country into the fucking ground. Note how many shops are closing in your suburb.
So, yay, America, if you think you're the only one with a wrecking ball going through your politics, Trump is wrecking by winning, which, honestly, that's how you have an effect. Abbott, he's going to have an effect, and that's going to be to make his party lose the next election. So we're basically okay with that. Want to actively encourage it, probably.
Yeah, I'm going to be sending him some emails. Hey, invite Peter to a nice park. I've got one where there's a camera. Yeah,
and just, you know, so while the Trump sideshow is bigger because the American presidential elections affect the world, this is what a lot of Americans don't get. Your politics can easily have more effect on other countries than that country's own internal politics.
True story.
Okay? Maybe just economically, but if you go and bomb the fuck out of someone, that's an issue for a lot of people too. Australia, it's economic impact and whether our soldiers are going to go off and follow you and go, oh, okay, another one of these, okay. Other countries are a bit concerned at the whole idea of having the shit bombed out of them as well.
It's a thing.
So that's why we talk about that. But we also just wanted to provide a little fun compare and contrast. You know, you've got a winner fucking things up. We've got a loser fucking things up.